So on Sunday, April 23rd, I ran my first full marathon. I ran the Jersey City full marathon, which was 26.2 miles. And honestly, running that race in person was just such a great experience. Throughout the very beginning of the race, I could feel the energy of the crowd and the energy of the spectators and just the energy of the city that was rooting for all these runners out on the course. Despite us running through rain for the first 2.5 hours, where it was not just drizzling, but pouring rain. There was puddles everywhere. People were jumping around puddles. We ran through a little bit of grass to avoid stepping in the really big puddles and things like that. Despite all of this, it was honestly such a great race. And I could really just feel how happy people were that we were running in their own neighborhoods. There were so many people that were standing outside of their houses, drinking their morning tea and coffee and just waving us on and cheering us on. There were so many children that I high-fived and ran with. There was a kid that I raced on a bike. He was riding his bike and I was running, and we raced the whole time until he hit a hill and he couldn't go up it anymore. So just the small things like that really make a big difference in a race experience, I would say, and just keep a person motivated and just like thinking positive to keep going and being able to finish mile after mile after mile, which does get repetitive after you do 26 of them. One major blip that I encountered in my training was I missed a whole month of training because I took a trip to India to see my family, and I didn't get to train while I was in India at all. So the month that everybody else was doing 13, 15, 17, and 19 miles on those 4 consecutive weekends, I missed that entire block of training. And when I came back, I was extremely upset, and I told Bal Uncle, I don't think I can do this. But he told me, why are you disqualifying yourself from the race before it even starts? And he basically explained it to me as, why would you disqualify yourself from a job position before you've even been offered an interview? And I think that advice really stuck with me, because then I thought to myself, he's right. I can't just assume I won't be able to do it. I just have to work hard. And on the day of, I already registered for the race. So on the day of, I have to show up, I have to start running, and whatever happens, happens. So I ended up being able to train well. I did finish, the longest run that I did was 20 miles. I finished that feeling strong, feeling really confident in myself. In between, during one of my runs, I also did hit that mental wall that everyone talks about, where you feel like mentally you just feel like giving up. And that was during my 17-mile long run. And so during mile 8, I remember I physically sat down for 30 minutes on the side of the greenway, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I just can't do this. My legs can carry me, my heart can carry me, but I myself, I'm just not in game for this. I just can't do it. And at that time, Deepak Uncle was running on the greenway, and he came and he picked me back up and he said, come on, like, you're not running 9 more miles. It's not about running 12 more miles. It's about running 1 mile 11 more times. It's about running 1 mile 26 times in total. And I think that also helped change the way I thought about things, because now it was no longer this huge distance of 26 miles, but it was just 1 mile after another, just 26 times, only 26 times. But overall, this was a really great experience. In the beginning, I did think to myself, oh my God, I'm never doing this again. I do think I may be doing it again. It's a really addicting feeling. I do want to say thank you to everyone who came to support our race. Thank you to Indu Auntie, Mona Auntie, Mithil Auntie. Thank you to Rupa Auntie and Moni Auntie, of course. Thank you to all my friends who came to support me at the finish line. It was so great seeing everybody's faces and just seeing familiar faces cheering us on. I think that makes a huge difference in whether a person is able to run such a long distance or not. And I think that just the environment of being surrounded by such positivity, it's so good for you. Just as a human being, I can just feel myself blossoming. So thank you, everybody.